Welcome to eBay's presentation of ESPN2's Feast Week.
Last Saturday night, Roy Williams finally returned home to an adoring and receptive Carolina crowd. Williams spent 10 years learning from the great one, the dean of coaches, Dean Smith. From there, he honed and perfected his coaching moxie and skills at Kansas. And he caught the attention of North Carolina, who came calling. But in the end, Williams said no. But the temptation proved to be overwhelming. And here he is back in Tar Heel country with a young and gifted Carolina team. Welcome, everyone, to the first road game in the Roy Williams era. And welcome to eBay's presentation of ESPN2's Feast Week. 21 games all week long. We will be playing ball until you fall. And let's take a look now at our Star Watch. A couple of players, Grant Doherty, that can really score the ball for the respective teams. Rashad McCants and Matt McKillop.
Yeah, the great thing to watch about Rashad McCants is defensive presence has come up. He's gotten better defensively. Matt McKillop can really shoot it behind the arc. He nailed 53 pointers last year. Look for a lot of good things offensively out of McKillop.
North Carolina coming off a win Saturday against Old Dominion University. That score 90-64. Meanwhile, Davidson, one of the best shooting teams that you will see all year long. And tonight here at Charlotte Coliseum in the Queen City, they're expecting perhaps the largest crowd ever to watch a Davidson basketball game. That is their 15th year head coach, Bob McKillop, patrolling the sidelines. The winningest coach in school history. We are set to tip it off. Williams controls it to Felton. The sensational sophomores who had an outstanding season last year. McCants on the perimeter, double team.
Outstanding thing about North Carolina is just their sheer speed at which they're playing already this season.
Jawad Williams scores it 19 seconds into the game.
They get the ball out of the net and they're ready to run. And you're going to watch a very well-coached basketball team in Davidson. They run their offense and execute it to precision.
Eddie Grant running the point. This is McKillop. He's around weak side to Kosmalski. Brendan Winters. They shoot 42% from three-point territory.
I guarantee you Brendan Winters is going to make that shot. That apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It's Dan Brian Winters, the NBA great, ex-NBA great, but really spoken.
Winters forced the loose ball. Here's Kenny Grant, the transfer, who started a dozen games for Lafayette as a freshman. Winters. May with the rebound, quickly up court. Carolina, as per Williams' team, will try to run. And that's what they do. You will transition. McCants
Going to push the ball, and the thing that you saw against Old Dominion, if you watched North Carolina the other night, was that they made mistakes at full speed. That's what you want to see in a basketball team in order for a team to grow. But this team has to get better.
Ball out of bounds off the leg of Connor Grace. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for Carolina. One of the guys to keep an eye on, Sean May, who last year missed about 10 weeks of basketball because of a stress fracture in his foot. He is back a little bit lighter and much healthier.
Yeah, getting that weight down is going to be a huge difference for Sean May, especially as fast as Carolina wants to play the game right now. So he can keep up and be in some of those transition opportunities.
Nice pass out of the double team to Felton, who hits the three. Ray Felton had an outstanding freshman season, averaging almost 13 per contest.
May shows the unselfishness, catching that ball. Could have turned, little jump hook, kicks it out to his teammate and his partner in crime, Ray Felton.
An offensive foul going to be called against Logan Kosmalski. Kosmalski starting at the power forward spot for Davidson, the Wildcats. Connor Grace led the conference, the Southern Conference, in rebounding last year at about 9 per.
Kosmalski stepped outside a nice hard pick, just kept moving those feet just a little bit, very close.
Davidson going to have to take care of the ball, and now they get an offensive foul.
Good job by Kosmalski jumping out. That's great, smart, heady basketball. Take a look, see if he was moving. Good pick by Sean May. He may have been sliding just a little bit, but give him a benefit of the doubt. Big guy getting out top, hustling like that.
Second team foul, first personal foul against McCants. Bob McKillop, the winningest coach in Davidson school history. Came to winningest coach 3 years ago, passing one lefty, Drizette. It's Winters on the dribble. Race outside, May with the rebound. Carolina looking to run.
Davidson did a good job executing your offense. I don't think that's the shot, though, at the end result. Grace taking about a 20-footer.
Good defense by Grace. Getting the steal at the other end. Grant. That's McKillop with the ball, the son of the coach, Matt McKillop. He's not afraid to put up a shot, and that foul is going to be against Tomoski.
Tomoski had Jawad Williams pinned under the basket. If he could have just maintained the position, which is very difficult to do, he would have gotten the rebound anyway. He gave just a little shove in the back.
Roy Williams, the former assistant coach under Dean Smith at Carolina, spent 15 years subsequently at Kansas, participated in 4 Final Fours, and right now trying to restore some of the luster to a program that has kind of been down a couple of years.
You're exactly right. A great basketball coach, just a great man. And these young men are going to be just, thoroughly enriched just playing for Roy Williams.
Expectations extremely high in Chapel Hill. McCants trying to help meet those expectations.
The expectations in Chapel Hill are unrealistic. This is not a top 10 basketball team, Mark, to be honest. A top 20 team, yes. But this team has a long way to go before they're going to be ultra competitive with the good teams in the nation.
Nice drive and kick. The shot off by Ian Johnson. Here's McKillop in the corner.
I mean, don't discount this Davidson basketball team.
That would be unwise. That's a good point, Brad. Keep in mind that a couple of years ago in North Carolina at Chapel Hill, Davidson and Bob McKillop's crew upset North Carolina 58-54.
That was in Chapel Hill. That just goes to show you, I'm a firm believer when you throw the basketball up, everyone has a jersey, everyone in this game has a scholarship, so you go play hard.
But it's about, for Carolina anyway, getting good shots and outstanding field goal percentage in their first game against Old Dominion University. Almost 62% from the floor.
It's going to be because of the attacking mark, the attacking of the basket, going to the front of the rim for shot opportunities instead of fading away, shooting 25-foot shots like they did a lot last year, or just settling for shots last year. They want to fresh, get opportunities in transition.
Now shooting a good field goal percentage, 3 of 4.
Look at the shot, McCants get up, play that defense, those active feet. That's what you like to see with him.
Everyone talks about Roy Williams' style of offense, the high pace, but they apply a lot of pressure defensively as well and cause the turnover.
Always attacking, even on defense. That's what I say, full speed mistakes are better than passive mistakes anytime.
There's Felton for 3. McCants with the board. Nice feed for Williams.
Basketball. Great unselfish play by Rashad McCants, who stepped in off the long shot by Ray Felton. Nice dunk down.
McCants had a career-high 8 assists in their last game, and Kenny Grant throws it away. That's one of the concerns for Davidson in this game. Roy playing it a little coy earlier this year, saying, I'm not that good, but right now the evidence is pretty good in his favor. We'll be back.
Exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball. Presented by eBay. Way better gifts and a better way to buy them. This holiday season, do it eBay.
The Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina, aglow at night just underway here in the first half. North Carolina leading by a score of 10-3. Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty courtside. Brad, everyone talks about North Carolina, but no scholarship seniors on this crew, just 3 scholarship juniors, but expectations through the roof.
Oh, the expectations are so unrealistic for this basketball team this year. Like I said earlier, this is a top 20 basketball team, not a top 10 team. And the thing that disturbs me is that Roy Williams is a great basketball coach. This team's going to win games because he's a great basketball coach, but he won't get credit because too many of the so-called experts have picked this team to either win a national championship or go to the Final Four. And that's just not going to happen realistically.
By the prognosticators, North Carolina picked to finish second in the ACC behind Duke. Here's Jawad Williams.
I think that's going to be tough to do. I mean, they're one injury away from being just a mediocre basketball team.
Well, right now, and I'm sure you're alluding to perhaps more than any area else in the middle, not a lot of size on
no backup big man, no backup point guard. Some guys who come in who are very serviceable and will do great role players. But Sean May or Raymond Felton goes down for this ball club, and it's a long season.
Inside, Connor Grace refused. Here's Felton, one of the fastest players in the nation. May couldn't convert on the alley-oop.
Jawad Williams, excellent job defensively. staying home, blocking that shot. See North Carolina get out and push. That's what you want, attacking the basket. You missed the shot, but you're going to the goal.
McKillop lost the handle.
Oh, that's the way to get on the floor. Jackie Manuel, he comes in. Great effort.
Causing turnovers.
Well, they're creating havoc with just the speed and pace of the game. I'm an old country boy, man. I got a lot of draw. I can't speak this fast. They got to slow down so I can talk.
This is not a slow waltz. This is definitely a fast-paced game. Jackie Manuel, as you mentioned, has checked into the ball game, and now Terrell Ivory, number 23, coming in to run the point for Davidson. Ball handling a concern for Davidson. All that pressure.
Well, as we talked to Coach McKillop before the game, he's concerned with the pressure, obviously. But, like I say, all coaches who are very good coaches have well-disciplined teams. They're going to show a lot of concern in a lot of different areas, whether it's justified or not. I think he has good ball handlers, and I think they've handled it well this far.
Fouls on Ian Johnson for the Davidson Wildcats. Fouling Sean May. Sean May, a sophomore, 6'9", and 258 pounds, he tells me. He lost about 13 pounds during the offseason. Looks much slimmer than he did a year ago.
I think that's a great weight on Sean May, 258, 260 pounds. It's going to give him the ability to run up and down the floor and be available for Raymond Felton as he pushes it to get some of those dunk opportunities to transition.
And I'm not intimating that he was overweight.
No, he wasn't.
Because he was certainly very nimble on his feet.
Absolutely. But when you're going to run and you're going to pace the game at such a quick pace, big guy, you want to have a chance to get a couple of those touches and lay up.
Look at the turnover situation. North Carolina committing its fourth moments ago. An interesting conversation with Sean's father, Scott, before the ball game. Here's Connor Grace out top for Davidson. Booker in the ball game.
Very exciting defense by North Carolina. Everybody's moving. Oh, nice pass. Oh, good job.
Johnson fouled, and he'll go to the line for two.
Very, very unselfish pass down inside.
How important do you think he was to their team last year?
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. They came out, and the ways they played last year was based upon him touching the basketball the majority of the time outside of Raymond Felton's handling. They went to Sean May, ran plays through him. So when he went out, it totally destroyed the chemistry of the basketball club, and subsequently they really went to a big-time spiral.
Suffered a stress fracture in late December up in New York City.
That was all she wrote.
Yeah, made an aborted comeback, a short one at the ACC tournament.
And that was just desire more than anything. Wasn't obviously ready to come back and play. Has a lot of heart. Wants to play basketball at North Carolina and be a big part of it. So that's all over with. New year, new coach, new attitude.
That goes for everyone on the Carolina team.
Correct.
McCants out of bounds. It'll stay with the Tar Heels. Into the ball game is Kenny Grant. Grant comes in for McKillop.
Look at Sean May. They're really covering him up really good, not letting him get anything. Ian Johnson's got him in his hip pocket. Ball drops back. Good collapse defensively by Davidson around the basketball.
Connor Grace coming to the ball game for Davidson, and Brendan Winter sits down, and Roy Williams going to match that. Sean May going to take a breather. Justin Bolander coming in, a 6'7" true freshman.
I like Justin Bolander for North Carolina. He comes in and does a lot of the little things well. He's not going to make mistakes. He's going to move the basketball. He's going to be there at the right time. A lot like Matt Doherty used to play the game. A lot of the little things well. Areas on keeping the ball alive.
Going to be an offensive foul called against Jackie Manuel. Manuel was hustling but committed the foul. Boy, just 3 points for Davidson.
I mean, look at Bolander moving. Comes in, sets a screen. He's been in the game 2 seconds. Watch him keep it alive. Keep it alive. Good tip. Great hustle. That's what you have to have on your basketball team. Guys are willing to step in and play those roles as young players help you to win.
Willing to walk on here at North Carolina. Winston-Salem.
Playing like that walk-on tag to be removed. Nice pass down. Up.
Well, finally,
good job.
Finally, Brad, breaking the scoring drought. Ian Johnson was a good back to the basket game.
Boy, Ian Johnson got his feet on that block. He did not give up any space. When he caught it, drop step, right to the basket. Classical post move.
Carolina going kind of small right now. Jawad Williams inside with the jump hook shot.
Well, it takes one substitution and this team is small. I mean, that's the reality of it. That's what we're saying. I mean, there's no aircraft carriers out there, so this team's going to have to play fast. They're going to have to play mistake-free basketball, which is virtually impossible. They're going to create turnovers.
The key, it's Kenny Grant.
Good defense.
Johnson cut off by Bolander. 10 on the shot clock.
Good time, don't force the shot.
Davidson got bailed out. Foul underneath on Bolander.
Very aggressive defensively. Jawad Williams staying home. Look at it. Everybody's on the floor. It's great hustle. Bring the speed. Good step up. Great help by Sean May. Once again, Raymond Felton digging it out. Good block by Jawad Williams. What a super play.
After that foul, that's now the 4th team foul against Davidson, and 3 on North Carolina. May back in the ballgame. Brought up an interesting point that Roy Williams mentioned. Turnaround jumper no good by Ian Johnson. He tells his guys, hey, listen, if you're tired, let me know. Pull on your jersey. I'll take you out. Because if I have to take you out if you're tired, you might not get back in.
That goes back to Coach Steve Smith days back in North Carolina. Forever, Coach Smith was always, Adam, you're tired, you give me the fist, and you come out. If I have to take you out, you're in trouble.
Did you really do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to know.
Absolutely. That's not always in trouble anyway.
Tonight, the EA Sports Maui Invitational continuing. 2 more great games on ESPN2. 9 Eastern, Ohio State takes on San Diego State. Then at 11:30 Eastern, Hawaii meets Santa Clara. All part of college basketball's Speed Streak, presented by eBay on ESPN2. 21 games, Brad. I'm going to hit the couch and watch.
That's awesome, man. Ohio State, with all those transfers. Tony Stockman from Clemson, who hit all those 3-pointers years ago. He's going to be huge for that basketball team, along with J.J. Solitaire.
Nice block at the other end of the floor by Sean May, posting up big inside. Kent swings it around. Felton off the mark.
Big box out by Davidson.
They just got to find a little bit more offense.
Yeah, they just got to find a way to get in the basket. That comes from completion of your offense. Execute. Good shot.
Ian Johnson with the turnaround.
I like Ian Johnson on that block. I make sure he touched the ball every time he came down court. Let's run stuff through Johnson.
Tony Phillips says that his players aren't going to jump out of the gym and make tremendously acrobatic plays, but they'll put in a very good day's work. That much is for sure. Bolander.
Yeah, Bolander. Nice job. He's going to get pass. I'm going to come back and play some defense, though. I mean, look at that. Oh, what a pass. Oh, Connor. Oh, the no look. Wide open.
Got to have those hands ready. Timeout on the floor. Roy Williams in his first year as head coach at Carolina under a glaring spotlight. We'll talk more about it when we come back. North Carolina ranked number 10 in the country with a 7-point lead right now. Last year the Tar Heels going 19-16, which led Roy Williams to say, and I quote, it's mind-boggling that someone would have us in the top 10. We're coming off 2 straight years not making the tournament. 36 losses. Old Roy ain't that good.
Well, I tell you what,
you believe it?
I disagree with that. Roy is that good. One of the top 3 basketball coaches in the country right now, and will be a Hall of Famer. And he will drag this team along just through his sheer will and intensity. Don't let that fool you. And I tell you, Roy Williams is one tough, demanding but fair basketball coach. All these people over the years have made fun of Coach Williams because of his emotions, because he loves his kids. It's dead wrong. He will flat get after you and challenge.
Does it with tough love, and it works.
Absolutely.
Beat it in 4 Final Fours at Kansas. Sean May hustling one in underneath.
Great feed by Felton. What made that so good is he gave it to Sean May where he could go to the basket all in one motion. He didn't have to make 2 different things. Look at that. Right to the basket. All you got to do is go up, big guy. You get fouled from behind. Look at this pass. To the basket. Those shoulders are already going in the direction to get that big body moving straight up and strong.
Sean May last year averaged 11.4 points per game to go along with 8.1 rebounds.
He's got great hands. I think if you take kids who are aspiring athletes and you take tennis balls and just throw it to them and have them catch it, because the tennis ball has a little bit of bounce in it. It creates that ability to grab anything. If you have great hands, you can play any sport in the world.
Dad told me he worked on his back-to-the-basket game a little bit more in more detail during the offseason. He's already got a great face-up game.
Oh, yeah, great hands, great speed.
Here's McKillop outside. Every pass denied, whether it be on the wing or the top.
And there's a blue shirt there every time. That's incredible pace for it.
Inside to Booker, they kick it back out. 7 on the shot clock. They got to go with it. Booker wheeling baseline.
Oh, nice block by Jawad Williams.
And they don't get one up in time.
Jawad Williams, excellent defense. set up nice and square behind the offensive player. Didn't go for the fake. Went up with the ball. Got his hand on it.
You mentioned Williams. Leadership, one of the question marks on this young Carolina team. But Jawad Williams, one of those 3 scholarship juniors, expected to provide a lot of the leadership this year.
Well, they've really struggled in his tenure at Carolina. But he's got 2 more good seasons. And this is a great opportunity for him to step up and become a leader. And I think he will take that role.
On cue, gets a soft roll. The shooter's touch. Out of Cleveland, Ohio.
You like that shot with Jawad Williams. He's wide open. You let him shoot the basketball.
And another turnover. It's a 4-on-2.
Look at that, 4-on-2.
Felton went halfway down and out. Winters with the rebound.
Well, you would question whether or not that transition is that shot they wanted. But I think so. It didn't look like a great shot, but I think so because you're trying to create pace, tempo. They knock that shot down. They really get Davidson back on their heels because here they come again.
High-octane offense in effect.
I mean, it's attack. And I think shot selection, once you're in a transition opportunity, really doesn't matter. You're down near the basket anyway.
They're going to count the bucket, Brad. And North Carolina out of the gate quickly, 22-7. Frenetic at the defensive end.
I mean, look at that. Raymond Felton right there. Here we go. Get on your horse. I'd probably, if I was playing, I'd stay at half court. But see, that way, once they stole the ball, you'd be out in front of that thing, man. That'd be the only way I'd get the ball.
Brad, he dribbled by 3 guys down court. You're not supposed to be dribbling faster than guys can run.
And what you like is where he was going. I mean, he didn't even look up. He's going to the front of the rack.
Felton has been saddled, some might say, with the label of being, quote-unquote, the next Phil Ford, and that's a lot to be saddled with.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody always tries to put you into some type of box. He's the next Ray Felton.
And look at the points off turnovers, making Davidson pay for their turnover miscues. Timeout, Wildcats. And don't forget, tomorrow night ESPN has a huge college basketball matchup between 2 of the top 5 ranked teams in the country. The Bill Self era beginning in earnest in Kansas as Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans visit Allen Fieldhouse. It's all part of college basketball's Feast Week, presented by eBay on ESPN.
Big day for Kansas. They're retiring Nick Collison's jersey. And as a senior, he averaged 18 and 10. See the non-conference schedule right there, Michigan State. I tell you, they're my pick to win it all. I think they're just outstanding this year.
That is a murderer's row of opponents. Tom Izzo says, hey, it's going to get us ready, if nothing else.
I think Tom Izzo and his boys are going to go through there and do a little name taking through all those big boys.
Talked about Nick Collison and his jersey being honored. Interesting situation when Kansas was having their year-end banquet. Roy Williams went back out there to be with his players because he said, these are still my guys. I recruited them. And a heckler tried to say some derogatory things about Williams, who had taken the job at North Carolina, and Collison's father shouted that heckler down. So still, he left behind a lot of good feelings overall at Kansas.
That's a tough situation. And obviously, I'm glad he's at North Carolina. I think he did a great job at Kansas. If he'd have stayed at Kansas, I'd have been happy with that, too. It's tough. He's a very loyal man, a lot of integrity. That had to be a heart-wrenching decision.
Honor with the rebound. McKillop from downtown. He hasn't been able to find his stroke in 3-point territory. McKillop had a game-high 18 points in their loss against Texas Tech last Tuesday, but so far he has been cold in the ball game.
He has to get his feet under him. I mean, like I said, this pace is, we keep talking about that, but it's just outstanding at the pace at which they're playing. So offensively, if you're the team playing against them, it kind of throws you out of kilter. You have to come back a notch and execute your offense at the pace you do it at in practice, which may not be the same pace that North Carolina's trying to get to play at.
Tough to simulate that, too. McCants with a step-back jumper, 24-7, and it's been 24-7. All Carolina all the time. Another Davidson turnover. With 8:49 to go, Bob McKillop figuring out that, hey, one of the ways to stop them from running, Brad, is to make some shots at the offensive end.
You have to make some shots, absolutely. And like I say, I really wish they would slow down just a little bit because the decision-making becomes kind of blurred when you're playing against the pace. Slow down, run your offense.
Davidson turned it over 26 times against Texas Tech.
It's so fast. I mean, you come down and Johnson doesn't get a chance to touch the ball, and he's been their only effective weapon.
John May with the baseline turnaround. McKillop with the board for Davidson. Wildcats out of the Southern Conference, and McKillop turned it over. Here in the Queen City Charlotte Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina, number 10, the Tar Heels leading Davidson right now. I'm Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty. The second contest of the season for both these teams respectively. Davidson losing their opener against Texas Tech. North Carolina winning their opener Saturday night at home against Old Dominion. The first game under their new head coach, Roy Williams.
It's funny to watch the North Carolina players. Well, they're coming in and out of this basketball game. They're just tired. They're expending all the energy they're giving. This is the way Roy Williams wants to play all year. They're going to get used to it.
Jawad Williams with the missed jumper.
Great hustle by McKillop getting on the floor.
Jawad Williams, one of the unquestioned leaders and the leading scorer in the ballgame so far. 4 of 9 from the field.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just silky smooth. He's gotten better as a player each year. Tough inside, block shots, can shoot the J, handle the basketball. Just a complete player. Needs a lot of potential around him so he can maximize his potential, and I think he's got that.
Light but strong, 200 pounds. Got a lot stronger over the summer.
Oh, yeah, he's very angular, a lot of lean mass on that body. Thomas McKinney, the strength coach down North Carolina, does an unbelievable job for these guys, getting them in shape. And they better be in shape if they're going to play for Roy.
Williams, one of the guys that reportedly lost some of his lunch when they were doing their running drills. I'm sure he's learned his lesson and recovered since. Bob McKillop still looking for some answers. As North Carolina leading 24-7 with...
Introducing the Wild Mountain Combos from Wendy's. A hot, smoky Southwestern pepper sauce, Colby Jack, and bacon on a juicy hamburger, or on Wendy's spicy chicken filet. Now that's something to remember. Wendy's, it's better here.
Back at the free throw line is Jackie Manuel, and his running pace really something.
Oh, it's phenomenal. Roy Williams, when I was there, like I said, was the strength and conditioning coach. And
he ran you a little.
Oh, I pulled him aside one day. Coach, I think I signed the wrong documentation. What do you mean? I think I signed a track scholarship, man. You're killing us. He loves the guys to be in shape. He wants you to be in peak condition.
He said by your junior year, you had the running thing down.
I faked it real well. I still don't have that down. He about killed me.
Coaching. 21 games all week. ESPN. Beast Week. Brad, you know what? Coach Williams think about the running he makes his team do. Don't want to belabor the point, but these guys can't afford to get fat on a lot of turkeys at Thanksgiving.
Running so much, man. You can eat whatever you want. That's protein, baby. Turkey. Come up my way, get a little collard greens, a little chitlins. Oh, man, it's on, Jones. It's on.
Here they do some mean deep-fried turkey in this part.
Oh, man, deep-fried, that's dangerous. You got to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing. You burn some stuff up with deep-fried turkey. Burn the house up and everything.
Roy Williams endearing himself to the fans here at Carolina early with a 24-7 lead. Kind of split loyalties. This is supposed to be a home game for Davidson, but I see a lot of Carolina baby blue here in the crowd.
Right down the road from Chapel Hill, but this is Davidson. You know, this is home turf for those guys. Just to get on track here, you've got to be a little bit more patient, like we talked about earlier. Start moving at a faster pace, and you make little mistakes that magnify themselves. There you go.
Nice feed inside, layup good by Ian Johnson.
Johnson, you said earlier as well, he needs to touch the ball every time. Good post up. He's lean and angular, and he uses that body well. Good show. By show, I mean stepping out and stopping that dribble penetration from Bigman.
Elvin Scott off the mark. Manuel with the tip. Jackie Manuel, one of those players that does a lot of the dirty work.
Does a little bit of everything. Boy, Johnson's feeling back down the court.
Ian Johnson played at Oak Hill Academy. Last year averaged over 12 points a game.
Well, it's interesting for a team that's trying to create pace and just quick up down the court. They shouldn't get beat for a layup. That's concerning.
Foul calls against North Carolina. One more look at the board work of Ian Johnson.
Boy, Ian Johnson, he's just lighting them up. Nice little layup. And then, like I said, North Carolina's a running basketball team. He catches them sleeping for an easy layup. Coach Williams won't be too excited about that.
That was the second personal foul, meanwhile, on Rashad McCants, the 17th foul. Johnson to inbound. 6:25 to go in the first half. Now a little extension of the defense. They extended three-quarter court just to token pressure. Connor Grace on the wing.
Where needs to be. Oh, through the hook. He's come back. He's bringing the hook back, baby. Johnson, nice post off a sweeping hook.
And an offensive foul against North Carolina. Johnson, meanwhile, has 10 points in the ballgame and bringing Davidson and its home crowd back into the ballgame. Now you can tell it's a home game.
I mean, look at his catch. One. That's it. Oh, baby. That is awesome. Nice shot. Oh, hook. There's nothing you can do with the hook shot. If you commit yourself to it, it's nothing but nylon. Great move.
Not a fluke either. Last year had a very productive game against Duke. They were in the ballgame until late and had 20 points against Arizona as well. Felton got nailed by a screen from Connor Grace. He's checking his fillings right now. Here's Winters outside.
Talk on those screens if you're on defense. Can't let your guard get popped.
Outside Johnson.
All right, I like that shot from Johnson. He's feeling it. He's carrying him offensively. Let him take that shot.
May trying to post up inside. The foul's going to be against Ian Johnson. That's the 18th foul, second personal.
Woo! Boy, it was a good pick. Both players took a lick there. I mean, Grace went down. He caught him right at Felton's cheek, hit him right in the shoulder.
You said it. That's Byron Sanders' fault.
Yeah, absolutely.
You call that out.
That's right. Felton needs to be back there giving Byron an earful. You have to talk back there. You have to let him know. Screen, high, low, go. You know, you can't. That way the guard can look, not get his spot clean.
Meanwhile, Sean May stepping to the stripe with 3 points to go along with 3 rebounds. Down the first. Talking about the health of that foot. They suffered the stress fracture last year. Interesting that when they do some of their running drills, they sometimes will go off to the side and get on the bike and do conditioning that way instead. Still a little bit, just a touch cautious with the foot. Well, don't forget, tonight, the EA Sports Maui Invitational continuing. 2 more games here on ESPN2. At 9 Eastern, the Ohio State Buckeyes take on the San Diego State Aztecs. Then at 11:30, it's Hawaii taking on Santa Clara. All part of Feast Week. Right now, North Carolina feasting on steals, and May converts.
Great job by Sean May, concentrating on that bucket. Going hard. Knew he was going to get the foul. Gave his body up. Made a tough shot. Comes Ray Felton. Nice hands. Knocks it loose. Good quick pass back to Sean May. This is where having that extra weight off is going to help him. Look at the explosion. Great job. Great hustle.
Foul, Brad, going to be called on Connor Grace. That's his second personal.
Hard but clean foul.
Oni Aho in the ball game, and he gets hit. Oh!
Rashad McCants showing great hands.
Interesting about Rashad McCants. A lot of people feel that he was the lightning rod for some of the problems of last year's chemistry problems with North Carolina. He and Matt Doherty didn't always see eye to eye, and there are some that feel that McCants, as a freshman, understandably so, would be a little bit moody at times. But under Williams so far, all is well.
Let me tell you, Rashad McCants is a good kid. He's learning work ethic. He is a tremendous talent. Probably the most talented kid on that North Carolina basketball team. He's going to be a great, great player, and he's maturing. We got to give the kid a chance to grow up and mature and come into his own self. Great kid.
Connor Grace hit the jump shot at the other end. The lead down to 14 points. 4:35 to go in the first half. North Carolina leaders from the opening tip. Foul going to be called against Davidson and number 23, Terrell Ivory, 6'1" senior. David Noel, one of the injured players for North Carolina.
I'll tell you, he brings so much energy to the game, David Noel, as well as athleticism. They're really missing him right now. It's early. I mean, obviously, 2 games in, he's not there.
Has a torn ligament, Brad, in his right thumb. Due back sometime in January. injured that thumb in a somewhat innocuous, kind of harmless situation in practice. Was just running back on defense and got it caught on a play.
That's just part of the game. Injuries are part of the game. People fouling out of the game. I mean, it's just the way it goes. You have to be able to pick up the ball.
Jim Well came to North Carolina with dreams of playing basketball rather than football. He was actually a big-time football player. Rashad McCants, meanwhile, at the line, 6 points on 2 of 4 from the field. His leading score a season ago was 17 points. Williams has challenged him to become a complete player this year. Says everyone knows he can score. He wants to see what kind of defense he can play.
Well, I'll tell you what, he has worked hard at becoming a better defender. And it has to be put in the appropriate terms. Rashad is just a tremendous athlete. As long as he can do it, he has potential to be great. His defense has come a long way. Move those feet.
Hayes swings it weak side. They move it nicely. Melvin Scott came up a little bit short. Here's Booker.
Nothing wrong with that. That's what you want. Good swing of the basketball, good shot opportunity.
Davidson seemingly a little bit uncomfortable playing at this tempo.
That's what I said earlier. I mean, they're just not able to get their offense going.
A 5-second violation. Right now, you can call North Carolina the Warden, as they got it on lockdown. We'll be right back after this. All right, Reese, yeah, they are moving the ball extremely well. The motion offense, one of the trademarks of that Carolina lineage, as you well know.
You want to push the basketball. You want to share the basketball. Like Coach Levinson, make that extra pass. That's what's very, very important in order to create an open opportunity for shot.
Scott on the wing. Scott, that was going to be called on to play backup point guard this year, and Sean May cashes one in.
What a great mind by Williams, recognizing that May had stayed home, didn't venture too far from the basket, where he is supposed to be. Caught the ball, went right to it, home really hard. Watch him go down to this block, just kind of hang around. You love to see a kid going to the goal, to the goal, to the goal.
Sean May with 9 points to go along with 3 rebounds. One hole in his game might be at the free throw. There's McKillop.
Had a couple of times. Big kids don't get to shoot enough free throws in college basketball.
Swarming Carolina defense, causing yet another turnover.
Nowhere to go.
Fouls, but he'll go to the line for 2.
I'd like to see him covering that space. Big May, opportunity to flush one home. Once again, another steal. Look at the pressure, swarming. Here they come. He almost gets it. Notice that.
Good bounce in those legs, though. Let me ask you something, Brad. We talked about Sean May's condition. At Carolina, when you were there, going from your freshman to your sophomore years, did you drop weight, stay the same, or add weight?
Drop weight. I mean,
how much?
Oh, for me, probably 10, 12 pounds, something like that. When I came to North Carolina, I was, in that 255-pound range. And I immediately went back to 240, 243 pounds right in there. You're going to drop weight when Coach Williams is around. He wants you lean and mean, man, because, you have to be that way. You're not a plodding half-court type basketball team. You'll get your share of shots in half-court, but he wants to move.
Kenny Grant barely got it over the midcourt line. Another double team. Connor Grace. Like North Carolina's almost playing with 6 defenders.
Yeah, I was just looking. I was counting guys. It's so disruptive. They're everywhere.
There's McKillop from the baseline.
Making me uncomfortable watching Davidson trying to execute because that's such a tough time. Well, it's New Jersey.
Triple team on the post. Melvin Scott from downtown.
He's the one guy who can spot up and make big-time three-point shots for North Carolina.
Scott came on late towards the end of last season, especially at the ACC tournament. The foul, meanwhile, is against North Carolina. Don't forget, Carter Feast Week presented by eBay. Number 4, Michigan State, taking on number 5, Kansas. That's tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 Pacific.
Michigan State is another one of those teams that to try to win without seniors. The rising star sophomore Paul Davis, who starred on the USA basketball junior men's team this summer, averaging almost 18 again.
There's a lot of talk about Davis perhaps considering going to the league. Woo. Saw them play earlier this year against the Harlem Globetrotters, and not quite sure that he's ready yet. North Carolina 8 of 11 from the foul line. Davidson just 1 of 3.
Good with the basket. Davidson spends most of the time trying to get the offense initiated in this manic situation, which North Carolina creates that.
Grant makes the free throw. The lead is 22. 35 to go in the first half. We're here at Charlotte Coliseum. I'm Mark Jones, along with Brad Doherty. The second game of the season. Williams couldn't find the handle.
What a great unselfish play by Rashad. Boy, that's going to make his teammates better. I mean, you've got to like that.
Coming up at the half, Reese Digger and Steve Lavin will have all the news in college basketball and a lot more. I had a big surprise on the little island of Maui, Villanova and Chaminade.
Byron Sanders could really make a big difference on this basketball team. To develop. We're really going to need his play, and I think Byron could be a huge cog at the end of the year.
Booker cut off nicely at the baseline, gives it back to Connor Grace. Winters drives baseline and is fouled in the act.
Winters made a nice move, good ball fake right to the basket. Brendan's dad, Brian, coached back at Cleveland Cavaliers all the time, go back to our play. He told a story one night. I had a horrible shooting night. Brian came up and I said, Coach, what was your worst shooting night? He said, I was 3 for 33 one night, but I hit the game-winning shot. That's all that mattered when he played with the Milwaukee Bucks. That was back in the day, Jack.
And Brian Winters here tonight watching his son Brendan play. Now a scout for the Golden State Warriors. Former coach with the Denver Nuggets and Golden State. Nice to be able to come and work a game, do a little scouting, and watch your son play in the process. Here's Felton up court. North Carolina doubling up on Davidson with 1:50 to go in the first half.
Oh, good defense.
Nick Booker.
Yeah, Booker gets up and swipes that away. Rashad has made a couple of good passes and passed up a couple of shot opportunities. Maybe he thought he would take an opportunity, but Booker's just been through.
Williams has it knocked away, and Davidson comes up the loose ball, but Kenny Grant stepped on the out-of-bounds line.
There was swarming defense by Davidson there, picking up the pace.
Phillips' team with a change this year in the Southern Conference, moving to the North Division.
Yeah, College of Charleston's going to be, that's going to be fun, man. That's going to be a great rivalry right there. Go home and home with it.
Coach Champs in the Southern Division, the North Division, pardon me, the South Division. There's McKillop with the rebound. Not always easy playing for Dad, but as Bob McKillop says of his son, he says, I like to think I have 12 sons, that all of his players are sons of his. Grant out top. Winters put it on spin cycle. Here's McKillop. Still trying to find the mark.
A little bit out of rhythm. Oh, man, what a steal.
And look what I found, says Jawad Williams. Got through the easy way.
Jawad McCants did a great job of covering Felton, trying to get there, and then Jawad, great hustle.
Jawad now with 11 points. He's the game's high scorer. And that unrelenting, unflappable defense
seems
for North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina's going to have fouls as you watch this because they're playing so fast. You know, they're running into people and getting after it. And that's got to get better, obviously, as the season goes on. And it will through repetition.
That was the foul on Raymond Felton, his first. Brendan Winters at the free throw line out of Oakland, California. His dad, as I mentioned, a scout with the Golden State Warriors, lives in Danville, California. Winters led the conference last year in three-point field goals at about 50%. So the apple really doesn't fall far from the tree.
Look at this stroke. What's this?
Pure.
Looks like yours, Jones.
I wish.
You guys can't play basketball, man. You guys play hockey punch with that.
Here's Felton outside.
Cold enough in here.
A lot of contact. contact out there.
Sean Terry a little bit out of control. Oh.
Terry, the true freshman.
Yeah, he's the true freshman. I think he was a little bit, he was out of control there. Oh, man. I think the guys in the striped shirts may have missed one. They don't miss them often. They missed that one. I think Mr. Terry had a little offensive foul there.
Second personal foul against McKillop. Sean Terry, a true freshman, 6'8", 210 pounds, out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He and Bolander, former high school teammates, came here on a bit of a package deal.
Winston-Salem. There's some great little towns up in Winston-Salem, John. Little town. Poptown. You heard of Poptown?
No, sir.
What about Rural Hall, North Carolina?
I bet they got a Circle K that you've been through.
Sun drop and all those things, baby. Little moon pie action. Oh, it's strong up there in Rural Hall, North Carolina.
Now you're scaring me. I'm still stuck on the deep fried turkey. Under a minute to go in the first half. It's been all North Carolina blue. 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, and if they just somehow settle down, finish one at halftime, say, look, let's get back to running our offense. Let's get Johnson touching the basketball. That post, let's take it to them at our pace. Maybe we can slow them down. Maybe it's a good ball game.
Here's Grant out top. 6 on the shot clock. Got to go with it. Winters. Not the way they drew it up, but they'll take it anyway. Been a rough first half. Winters has 10. Jawad Williams with 11, meanwhile, for North Carolina. And Sean May with 12 points for the Tar Heels, as that's the first 20 minutes of play. North Carolina with the lead. A lot of turnovers for Davidson in the first half. Hey, Reese, you got to take care of the onion or else it'll make you cry. Back to you.
I'm trying to take care of these two guys to my left, Digger Phelps and Steve Lavin here, and we're going to show you at halftime. Look, you won't get very often into just how Roy Williams conducts his business at North Carolina. You don't want to miss that coming up during halftime. We'll also tell you about the passing of a baseball legend, the winningest left-hander in the history of Major League Baseball, and also the end of the career for former Georgetown star Alonzo Mourning. What forced Alonzo out of the game and what's next for him when we continue on the Halftime Report.
North Carolina 8-22 seasons ago, 19-16 last year. Right now in Game 2 of this campaign, leading 43-25. I'm Mark Jones, along with Brad Doherty here at the Charlotte Coliseum. North Carolina, Brad, came out of the gate quickly and playing typically Roy Williams fast break basketball. That's how they've done it.
A lot of pressure, even creating problems for Davidson to get into their offense. But North Carolina's just been attacking. You see the turnovers, 16 forced turnovers in the first half, 22 points off of that, and all of them were layup opportunities. Davidson's got to do a better job of running their offense under control, not panicking, not getting into a fast situation where they can't focus. Ian Johnson has to touch that basketball. He is dominating North Carolina inside. When he gets the basketball, they can't stop him.
Ian Johnson, one guy that, like you said, has to get a few more touches. Let's take a look at our first half statistics brought to you by eBay. North Carolina shooting a good percentage from the field, almost 52% in all. Davidson, meanwhile, 8 of 22, and most of those 8 field goals came late in the first half. Probably most of them coming in the last 5 minutes. They were held beneath double-digit scoring until about 7 minutes to go in the first half. A chance to inbound in the second half here.
This will tell everything. I mean, that big of a point difference in the ball game. You'll see how Davidson comes out and adjusts early because they've got to chip away. It's not an unsurmountable lead if they can just run their offense.
Williams out front. Sean May.
Nice move. Up and under. They let the defender stop it from getting around.
Felton kind of pulled a string on the shot, claiming he got a hit.
Coach Williams doesn't like that.
He likes you to do things decisively.
That's right. Make the extra pass. You heard Coach Lavin say that earlier. That's what Coach Williams wants, extra pass. Make that defense move one more time. It's a great game.
McKillop got a rough shooting first half for Davidson. Winters, he's got 13. So where to start the half.
Talking to Brendan's dad at halftime. He's pointing out, he said he drove twice and he should have shot. He thought said, all right, coach, that's just like that shooter's mentality. He can struggle.
Cass missed everything. Miller got the rebound. And he was fouled. He'll get 2 at the foul. North Carolina shoot a couple of their balls so far here in the second half. Winners, meanwhile, as you mentioned, scout for the Golden State Warriors, a pretty good shooter back in the day at South Carolina.
Oh, Brian is the guy who used to be coaching pro basketball. Has a great basketball mind. Has a great attitude towards the game of professional basketball. I enjoy playing for Brian. Needs to be playing and needs to be coaching somewhere.
Any luck, he'll get another opportunity. Of course, there's a couple of jobs opening up. Bill Cartwright fired today.
Oh, Bill Cartwright's done a great job, I think, for what he has there in Chicago. He didn't have a ton to work with. All those young basketball players. I'll tell you what, that's the toughest job in the world, is taking a team like that with all those young players, Jones, making the money like you make. All the players do. That's hard, man. You can't tell those guys anything.
You got the wrong Jones. McKillop off the mark. It's a 4-on-1 for Carolina. Melvin Scott was fouled going to the cup. Talking about good coaches, Bob McKillop, the winningest coach in school history.
Yeah, and you look at those numbers, you say 22 for 180 versus 182. That 182 comes from playing teams like Duke and North Carolina and Michigan State. There's no cupcakes from Davidson's schedule, and they're going to go head-to-head twice this year with College of Charleston, who can it's just flat a tremendous basketball program.
You know, I was talking to McKillop before the game, and I was teasing. He said, Coach, you only have 2 international players on your squad this year. What's going on with that? Usually he has at least 3, sometimes as many as half a dozen. Did a lot of coaching clinics in Europe back in the day when he was a high school coach in New York and established a lot of contacts.
Go out, you got to work hard, got to shake the threes, wiggle the bushes, Jones. You got to find these kids, man. They're out there.
Felton driving, and he's fouled by the other McKillop.
I like the aggressiveness of Davidson, not backing down, trying to close those holes. Ray Felton's just so quick. Inbounds pass. He's gone. Matt McKillop trying to move his feet. Can't quite get there. Great hustle.
They got a bit of an issue now because Matt McKillop has 3 fouls. Roy Williams might have been holding his breath for a brief moment as the star went down to the court. We'll be back right after this. Well, you can get fat on hoops all week long. 21 games in all, part of Feast Week on ESPN and ESPN2. Don't forget on ESPN tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern time, Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans taking on the Bill Self era beginning in earnest. Number 5, Kansas. There's some players back in Kansas still.
Hey, Bill Self's first game on ESPN is Kansas. I got a trivia question for you.
Go ahead.
Who's the only coach to have a below 500 record at Kansas?
That's not far. I don't know. You tell me.
Can you believe that? He invented the game.
Ooh, that's bad for your rep.
He had to deal with knuckleheads too, you see? Hard, man.
Here comes Carolina with a 3-on-2. Jawad Williams in transition. And he's fouled. Block underneath. Against Davidson, the Wildcats with 14 fouls already.
Here they come. Ray Felton, conductor of that train, right in the middle of the floor. That's where you want your point guard so he can make those passes. Either way, you can fill the lanes. Jawad Williams is a good catch. Strong move to the basket.
Jawad Williams at the foul line. Williams, a 68% free throw shooter last season. Connor Grace goes to the bench. Missed both of them. Smolsky comes in for him. Benny Grant running the show at the point. Popped it up again. Felton couldn't find the handle. It's out of bounds. It'll be with Davidson. 17:51 to go in the second half. Davidson with a lot of work to do. Benny Grant still at the point. That defensive pressure can really wear you down.
Yeah, you got to really get the pressure. You're always looking, trying to see the floor. You miss shot opportunities because you're already expecting someone to be on it. Winners. He's almost standing out of bounds. That was deep.
Got 16. That tells you to shoot. You got a jack.
That's right, man. Always open, Joe. Always open.
Foul's going to be on Matt McKillop. That's his third personal foul, and all of that pressure. Carolina putting Davidson in precarious foul position with 14 fouls already. Actually, it's 5.
Yeah, I like competitiveness of Davidson. Struggle. Put the ball in the hole before they're not backing down at all.
They're going to get whistled for another foul.
They better be tough because coming up later in the year, they got to go down to Durham. Play them Blue Devils, man. They are loaded, Joe.
SEC is always going to be very intriguing this year.
Yeah, so good in Durham this year. It's going to be fun to watch them. Boy, it's going to be fun to watch Mike Krzyzewski and Roy Williams go head-to-head. Boy, that's going to be intense.
We got a foul this time against North Carolina.
Blocking foul. Phelps, 2-1 Phelps. Mike Wood steps out. Takes that call. One of our tenured officials. Been around a long time. Wood does a great job. He gets through all these games. He plays a lot of golf.
He's on your scholarship program.
That's exactly right.
Winner's fouls going to the cup. Fouls against Rashad McCants. His third personal, second team foul. Winner's the game's leading scorer right now with 16 points going to the foul line. So far, perfect 4 for 4. Life is good when you can travel around and follow your father, who's an NBA coach. I followed his dad to Denver and San Francisco when he was coaching the Warriors.
Around when he was at Cleveland. I remember that. He's a little fat.
He rebound for him?
Yeah, he was 5, 6 years old. Of course, I was only 12, 11, 10 right there myself.
McKillop comes out of the ball game with his 3 fouls. And now head coach Bob McKillop calling for a little more three-quarter court pressure, full court pressure from his Wildcats. Here they go to the trap.
Good-looking trap. Force North Carolina out deep. They can shoot a jump shot for once.
Belton with a little drive and dish to Scott.
Defense.
Offensive foul called against Belton Scott.
Kosmowski stepped in there and took it right in the chin. Tough kid, Kosmowski. Great play.
This Davidson team not one to give up.
Oh, they're not going to back down. They're not going to back down. Scott drives. There it is. Leaves his feet. Oh, you don't do that. He was trying to be unselfish, but he left his feet. No body control. Kosmowski steps in, takes a charge.
Keep an eye on Brendan Winters. He has been the beacon of offense for Davidson here in the second half especially. Here he is off the screen and firing.
Woo! Oh, we got the ball again. Here we go.
Brendan Williams is working North Carolina like a part-time job right now.
7-point ball. Good steal. Kosmowski. North Carolina, they look like they're a little bit slow now. They've run out a little bit of gas.
Winters kicks it out. Grant. A little bit strong. Williams with the rebound.
Tell you what, North Carolina, they don't have that extra step.
Belton foul going to the basket. Well, Ray Belton might be the fastest guy with his ball in the country.
He is real good. Look at this. Pass out the corner. Look at that jump. Woo, sir. My kids are home watching. Look at that jump. Don't think about your dad. Look at that. That is awesome. Man.
Winters with 21 points now in the ball game. 5 of 7 from the field. All of those attempts, 3-pointers. Now a chance, Brad, to get it under double figures.
North Carolina struggle a little bit at that free throw line. That could be a couple of things. That could be the tired legs, early trying to get used to all the running and ripping. Another foul.
Davidson not the type of team that's going to be intimidated by the baby blue of Carolina. Not at all. Keep in mind a couple of years ago, They shot the Tar Heel Nation. We'll revisit that when we come back. Davidson mounting a charge behind Brendan Winters, and his 21 points right now down by 11. Remember a couple of years ago, November 20th in Chapel Hill, 4 days after losing to Hampton in the Smith Center, the Tar Heels lost in the final seconds to Davidson. Chris Pearson's dunk right there with 31 seconds remaining was the go-ahead hoop. And for the first time since '83, the Tar Heels had lost their first 2 games of the season. Davidson winning 58-54. And right now it appears as if Bob McKillop's team might be poised and ready for yet another upset.
You have games like this where you have one team who is supposedly to win the game. Well, that game could be won by that team sometimes by just out-talenting and having more talent than the other team. But they're not going to be out-coached. This is an excellent coached basketball team. They're not going away. They're short.
There's Booker off the baseline screen. Oh, Booker threw it away.
Talked about North Carolina looking like they're a step slow. What I mean by that is Davidson's getting back now in the transition. So they're setting up defensively. North Carolina comes down. They don't effectively run their offense. All of a sudden, Davidson's ready for it. And it's not as big an issue when Davidson goes back on offense. Because now they're in better shape.
Jawad Williams.
What a play. Can't keep that.
Winners. Over the back. Foul's going to be on Booker. So Booker commits the turnover. Then a foul on the rebound on 2 successive possessions.
Look at this drive. Watch this. Ray Felton, it's hard to stop him. Perfect pass. You could have got that one, Jones. Oh, man. Look at that. He's coming right down the middle. That makes it very tough on the defender. Whoever's guarding Jawad Williams at that time, it was Kosmowski in the rotation. He's got to step to the middle of the lane.
Hey, Brad, what about Felton dribbling around the guy who was blitzing on this screen?
Oh, he was just gone. He couldn't get in front of us. Too fast. Free throw shooting is a concern. Got to step in there, take a deep breath, make these free throws.
Davidson had a chance to cut it to 9.
I like that right there. That's what I like.
Side. Kosmowski's going to cause the foul. Coming over the back. Off the miss from Ian Johnson. Monday Night Countdown previews ABC's Monday Night Football game and provides up to the minute NFL news with Stuart Scott and the gang. Monday Night Countdown, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. Then it's a family affair. Tiki Barber against Rondi Barber. It's the Giants against the Bucks. New York and Tampa Bay live at 9 Eastern.
Really, man, both these teams are 4 and 6. So whoever loses this can forget about the playoffs.
What about Keyshawn? He could forget about the playoffs too.
Keyshawn can forget about the playoffs altogether. They need to throw the ball to Warren Sapp. Oh, homeboy Brad Johnson there. They need to get the ball to Warren Sapp. I think he can just do it all.
Kosmowski, his 4th personal foul, really hasn't got much of anything going in this game.
Well, I didn't like that last foul call on Kosmowski. I did not think that was a foul. He pinned the ball against the backboard. He's so aggressive. Sometimes that when you're losing and you're aggressive, it sets the tempo, and when you get a call or you get a whistle on it, you shouldn't get.
On the Grace cross court. Nice shot from outside by Ian Johnson. Ian Johnson with 13 points. Davidson hanging around with 14:35 to go.
Absolutely hanging around in there. They're in this ball game.
Jawad Williams for 3 and 1.
Bad foul. You never want to foul a jump shooter. 3-point.
Got clipped on the leg.
The thing about it is Davidson, if they could have just picked up and created some of this offense going into the last 10 minutes of the first half, this is a totally different ball game. Jawad Williams squares up. This is what we're talking about, him being so versatile.
Jawad Williams, Brad, has been the guy for Carolina that has made all of the timely plays, not just scores, but plays in this ball game. The foul on Conor Grace.
Well, everything that was going on last year was struggling. One guy I never heard anything about was Jawad Williams.
Felton with his full court pressure causing the turnover and the offensive foul. That's the 3rd foul on Kenny Grant and a timeout call by Davidson. They were inching closer, but Roy Williams and his Tar Heels with the pedal to the metal and extend the lead to 16 with 14:25 to go. Well, as we celebrate our 25 seasons of college basketball, time to flash back into the ESPN archives.
For Carolina, number 23, Michael Jordan.
Jordan, right to the baseline. That's it, really making it look different.
Well, that 81-82 season, quite a magical one. 32-2 overall, and that guy Jordan had a pretty good career, didn't he?
He turned out to be all right. He panned out. He did okay. Excellent basketball team in 82 from North Carolina. Going back to this game, though, the big thing for Davidson, I think, is they have to really continue to stop North Carolina getting back. They get back in transition and stop the ball. It creates problems. North Carolina has a tough time running their offense. They've gotten right into this ball game, though.
Some of those Carolina players, talk about that in a bit, but first, look at the difference between Davidson in the first half and the second half from three-point territory.
And I really believe if they had played a little bit better going into the half, boy, this would be a tie ball game.
14:25 to go. Carolina winning its opener a couple of nights ago against Old Dominion. Davidson, meanwhile, comes in 0-1 after losing to Texas Tech about a week ago. That's the guy that's carrying the offense right now on his shoulders, Brendan Williams.
Brendan's done a good job picking up this second half, getting that body square at the basket. I tell you, if they can just get the ball swung offensively, swinging around the horn and find him in the corner, give him a little daylight, they'll make it.
Helm calls out the play. Davidson in his zone. And then Scott from the baseline. There's a guy that improved in the late part of the last season and has continued to play well.
Elton Scott, great attitude, really wants to be good, wants to get better.
Kenny Grant a little bit out of control. Johnson missed the tip. Great hustle.
Great hustle by Jackie Manuel. Oh, man, just outstanding.
Oh, spin. There you go.
He's doing it all. He's picking the top corner. He's starting to coach. In the stands, on the floor. Great job, Jackie Manuel. Great hustle.
Let's get a chance to shoot off. From the baseline, no good. Ian Johnson. The bounds, it'll stay with the Wildcats, but Jackie Manuel, one of the better defenders.
I mean, look at this great hustle. Spin move, up and under.
Gotta let him shoot once in a while.
Oh, come on, man got down on the floor like that. He gets at least 2 shots from anywhere.
Roy Williams says that Manuel understands what his strengths are.
Yeah, he does. He just wants to win. Struggled the past couple of seasons. Lost a lot of ball games he shouldn't have lost.
Carolina has made his last 5 shots. He hits a 12-3 run. Connor Clay is trying to put an end to that. May with the rebound. And here comes North Carolina.
Good kick out by Ian Johnson. Grace just couldn't get that shot to go down. That would have been a huge shot.
John May isolated on Johnson. Tipped up.
Good defense for Johnson. Didn't take the fake, stayed right with him, kept the body on Sean May.
Hands out top to Johnson.
Oh, now the nice and patient. Look at the patience in this offense. Yes, they get a good shot.
They'll get winners in touch somewhere along the line.
Oh!
Try to fit it inside to Johnson, and they turn it over.
Bad angle on the entry pass.
That's their 19th turnover of the game.
2 dribbles deeper, and he's got Johnson going to the basket for a layup.
Byron Sanders checks in along with Justin Bolander.
A great weight loss plan for a lot of people who are struggling in the weight. They need to join North Carolina's basketball team. I'll tell you what, Burns and Cowher's playing this guy.
Elvin Scott turning the net.
You can't leave him wide open. That was a defensive mistake, obviously, by Davidson. He's the one guy on the floor right now. You have to be in his shorts and he gets ready to shoot.
Elvin Scott with 9 points. 12:16 to go. And after pulling to within double figures, almost single figs, pardon me, Davidson slipping. Second half, Jawad Williams answering the call of duty.
He's just been real consistent. Around the backboard, blocking shots, rebounding the ball, finishing shots, and making threes. What else can you ask for? He's giving it everything he's got. What a great young man.
Roy Williams demands commitment and accountability from his players. Interestingly enough, when Roy Williams was the head coach at Kansas, Brad, I'm told that he made his players sign a contract saying that I promise to rebound if I want to really go to the Final Four. I wonder what kind of deals he's got to sign with these guys.
He's got to sign some big ones with these guys. He's got teams coming off 36 losses in the last 2 seasons, so they haven't sniffed the final or getting into the big dance. So I think you got to get a contract that has a little bit of everything on it so you can get there.
Williams has done a lot to rekindle the passion of the Carolina fraternity. I know you can speak to that.
Absolutely. He has brought us back together as a group, and we're excited about North Carolina. But I'm liking what I've seen in spurts from this Davidson basketball team. I think that they're not making the mistakes like that. Very impatient. They do some good things. They're going to be very tough in that kind of Southern Conference.
The 20th turnover of the game as Grant will sit down. Into the ball game comes Terrell Ivory, the 6'1" senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Back at point guard, Felton out top. What a collision in the paint. Bolander hit the floor. McCants with the fadeaway. Nice rebound by Kosmolski. Speaking of rebounding box outs.
Kosmolski very aggressive. North Carolina can't be impatient. Just settle for a shot. Get the best shot. You get a better shot than one of them.
That's a good shot for winners anytime. David Strong, Ivory.
Davidson on the floor. Connor Grace getting in there, digging it out. Gives his team a chance. Didn't see any blue jerseys on that floor.
Winners out front. And a 5-second violation. 11:21 to go. Coach McKillop's troops under siege when we come back.
Reese Davis with you in the studio. The number 3 team in the land, Arizona, hosting Northern Arizona. This is Andre Iguodala making a nice move inside, but couldn't finish it. Channing Frye has his back. 11-2 Arizona. Don't forget, we're going to Maui, top of the hour, guys, or as soon as you're finished.
All right, yeah, Arizona Wildcats loaded once again. Stoudemire and Channing Frye. Wilson seemingly always getting great players out there in the desert. Back here, 11:21 to go. Now, number 10th ranked North Carolina, impressive so far. Here at the Charlotte Coliseum, I'm Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty, part of Feast Week, brought to you by eBay. 21 games all week on ESPN and ESPN2. Melvin Scott missed everything.
Melvin shot the shot a little long, but it was not a bad shot. Great ball move by North Carolina. Swinging around the horn. Got a kick to the corner. That's the guy you want shooting.
Foul's going to be on Byron Sanders. Sean May and Jawad Williams coming back into the ball game for Sanders and Bolander. Here in comes Jackie Manuel again for Melvin Scott. 21 turnovers, turned it over 26 times in their first game of the season against Texas Tech. 11 minutes to go.
Take care of that basketball. You want to have succession to win these games. Play this game.
Phillips. McCants playing great defense.
Oh, he's really look at Rashad McCants move those feet. Something a year ago that was questionable about it. No longer question that.
Malski on the wing, 10 on the shot clock.
Nowhere to go.
Inside McKillop. Fouled by McCants with 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. The super sophomores in their second year, burgeoning with confidence, felt the outside threat, the penetrating threat, and inside Sean May put a little muscle in his muscle. Sean McCants expanding his game a little bit too.
Yes, he really is. Like I say, moving those feet, he has become a very good defender. has the ability to do this so phenomenal.
Tonight, May leading the way with 15 points. McCants with 9, Felton with 5. Sean May, somebody played at Michael Jordan's camp this past season. A bunch of other collegiate stars. Of course, you come through Chapel Hill anytime during the summer, you're going to get a good run, right?
Oh, you can get a good run.
Can you get me in?
You don't pass the ball.
I can do a little bit. I play a little defense.
You don't shoot all the time. You don't pass.
At any given time, you see a lot of the present Tar Heels playing, along with the likes of Antoine Jamison, Spencer Parker.
I sit and watch.
You don't run with those guys?
I tell them how we're doing with our run here, but,
Somebody's got to coach. Well, Williams is organized, especially behind the arc. It's another 3 ball. He has 20 in the game.
Pretty easy right there. That was just really, really easy. Real obvious. Right down the middle lane.
Now Felton back at you.
It's going to be a straight bucket.
Not going to help Davidson.
No, it's not going to help at all.
5-point deficit to cover for the Wildcats. Looking for their first win of the season still. Don't forget, coming up next right here on ESPN2, the Buckeyes against the Aztecs. Part of Feast Week here on ESPN and ESPN2, brought to you by eBay. 9:48 to go as Connor Grace stepped to the free throw line. Grace led the Southern Conference in rebounding last season at 9 a game. McKillop got him to campus by using one of his relationships with one of his associates in the Irish Hoops Federation. He's got friends in high places and far places.
Shoot threes and wiggle and push.
Manuel double teamed on the baseline. Found Scott, who committed the offensive foul.
He steps over a great defensive job. Good defensive presence.
Jackie Manuel all over the floor tonight.
He just, he comes in and just does his job. He's a team player. He plays the defense. He rebounds the ball. He's aggressive. He slashes to the basket. You hear him say that about him a lot. You just got to admire them. He just wants to be on a winning basketball team.
In every one of Roy Williams' news conference to date, just about anyway, he has had high praise for Jackie Manuel and his efforts at both ends of the floor.
There's a lot of effort. That's why. Don't rely on just talent. There's a lot of effort.
Over on the wing. No doubt that a lot of North Carolina's opponents in the ACC watching tonight, knowing what they're up against now, for sure. Here's Felton. The turbos kicking in, and here they go. Jawad Williams foul.
I'll tell you, that all started with great defense by Rashad McCann out on the basketball on the perimeter. He was getting after it, moving those feet. And that's exciting to see. Pass goes down. Sean May knocks it away. Here we go. Incredible bounce pass. Intentional foul.
The guards pass a little bit up court.
Oh, yeah, man. That takes a lot of skill to bounce past that ball between folks like that and be able to catch it.
Last year had more assists than any freshman in the nation. Preseason All-ACC Player of the Year in the conference. Talking about Felton. Williams, meanwhile, stepping to the line.
Monster night. Make that free throw.
Scott getting a breather. Williams is doing 10 players. 9, actually.
I have to.
Keep in mind, if you're just joining us, David Hall, well, injured. Torn ligaments in his right thumb. Wearing a cast right now. Due back in January sometime. Booker. Allowed to go off line.
Good shot by Booker. Kansas a step too late stepping in, taking that charge.
Williams top of the lane with 8:47 to go.
So they get Booker to get that ball out of the net as soon as it comes through, and they're coming at you no matter score or not.
And it's May Day.
Good strength by Sean May.
Sean May with his 17th point of the game. Booker looking inside.
Oh, that's not
A little bit of a throwback.
Ooh, I love that.
It's not the first time he's made that shot. And a Bogart goes to the basket by
just a momentum shot. I mean, the Tar Heels are just creating momentum coming to the offensive end. And he's just going to go to the basket. Johnson steps up, and that's just momentum. What it does.
Didn't get there in time, and foul's going to be his 4th.
Creates opportunities going to the basket at all times.
Connor Grace and McKillop sit down for Davidson. Jackie Manuel with 6 points in the game. That shot's got a lot of arc on it.
Oh, it does. Took a defense to come down.
Grant calls out the play. Davidson trailing for most of the night and throws it away again. Manuel.
I'll tell you what, he was athletic and explosive, son. He gave a great look back.
I'm not so sure he didn't want to bounce it off the glass as a pass.
I don't think he'll be running plays there. Look at Felt up ahead. Manuel gives him a look back. He does the right thing. Goes in, draws the foul.
That foul is on Ismalski. Transfer from Baylor, his 5th. Fouls out of the game with no points and 2 rebounds. Well, I said earlier they were expecting one of the largest crowds ever to watch a Davidson basketball game, courtesy, as you can well hear, of some North Carolina Tar Heel fans that showed up. Davidson about 20 miles away from the Coliseum here. How far is Chapel Hill? You had the limo ride here. How far is it?
Yeah, about 2.5 hours. Yeah, I limo, a little pickup truck. It's got fender fatigue here, flapping in the wind. I'm driving down the road.
Well, you live in Asheville, so the limo doesn't go from Asheville to
I live up
Black Mountain.
Black Mountain, North Carolina, up near at lovely Asheville. Old raggedy pickup truck right there.
Emmanuel makes the first of 2. 8 points to go along with 6 rebounds.
Good job. He's going to be an important team. They get the ACC play. That's what we're referencing as we're talking about them going down the road.
Foul. Roy Williams looking to go 2-0. His first 2 games as head coach on the sidelines at Carolina. Said at his introductory news conference back on April the 14th that it's hard to say no to Coach Dean Smith twice. He deferred the first time back in 2000, but the second time he thought it was just right.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the loyalty thing. A lot of people are going to say, well, he left Kansas. He wasn't too loyal, but he was there for 15 years. And Coach Smith was first. And that loyalty, that bond, kind of supersedes everything else. And a lot of class.
Roy Williams, the winningest active coach in college basketball right now. The 3rd all-time.
You can see right there, too, he's an equal opportunity and a butt chewing, too. I'll tell you what, that's what you got to have for these young men. Get those minds right. Get after them.
He always likes to say, old Roy ain't that good, but I don't believe it.
Oh, Roy's that good.
McCants top of the lane. Under 8 minutes to go. Here's the Charlotte Coliseum. I'm Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty. Carolina looking to break the 2-2. Keyshawn Terry.
Oh, boom. Terry got hit on the arm there. Oh, he's a rook. A little love, got a little foul.
Winners couldn't find the handle out of bounds. We got a timeout with 7:41 to go. When we come back, we'll take a look at the top coaches in the country and how they fared in their first year on the sidelines. We'll be back.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of NCAA basketball. Brought to you by Dish Network. Call and get satellite TV in 3 rooms of your home free. 1-800-WOW-DISH.
Here at the Charlotte Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina, part of Feast Week. 21 games all week long. I'm Mark Jones along with Brad Doherty. Feast Week brought to you by eBay. Don't forget, coming up next, more run and fun. Ohio State taking on San Diego State. Right here, 7:36 to go. It's been all Carolina, all day.
I threw that ball away. Bolander was supposed to get that top shoot, that pass. John McCants cleans it up.
Chance double team, kicks it out nicely to Felt. Rebound Davidson.
Good job of Davidson boxing out, scrapping it. A lot of white jerseys on the interior.
There's Grant on top. Nice backdoor cut. Winners.
Great job.
Offensive foul called.
Sean Terry stepping over, taking a big charge. Good job, young man. Terry comes over to help out. Winners had the backdoor cut. Terry comes over, makes a great defensive play.
Jawad Williams comes back in the ball game along with Sean May. Williams, the game's leading scorer with 22.
Slowed down just a little bit as far as attacking. But they've got the game well at hand. Now it's time to work on a little half-court offense.
May with the sweet turnaround.
That's a great place to start. Work on a little half-court offense. And Sean May catching that ball for a little turnaround.
May with 19 now.
Chipping away.
Percolate.
Yep.
Jawad Williams with his 22, just 3 points away from a career high. Great denied defense by Manuel. Even better hustle by McKillop.
Great hustle by both those young men. You like to see, you want to see everybody getting down on the floor, getting those dirty. Those jerseys look dirty.
You know, Brad, it would be easy for Davidson to let go of the rope down by this
one. They're not going to do it. Yeah, they're not going to do it.
Exhibit 8 on 30. McKillop with a long distance jump shot.
Long season ahead. They've got some tough battles within conference themselves. Games like this is going to make them better.
Chance missing from outside. Foul going to be called against Connor Grace. Roy Williams in his first year in Chapel Hill. Here's a look at some of the top coaches, what they did in their first seasons. Coach K, hard to believe that, huh? Yeah. NIT. Coach Izzo, the NIT. Jerry Williams, the same. And Jim Boeheim made it to the NCAAs in his first year. Look how far Coach Calhoun has come. Single digits.
Guys like Ben Gordon or Mega Okafor, that'll bring you a long way. You're like a genius.
They got a semifinal game coming up in New York.
Just got to get in there and recruit them kids in there and get the kind of guys you like. Work with.
Williams at the free throw line, closing in on a career high. 3 points away. Missing the first of 2. Williams, 68% free throw shooter last season. One of the debates, Brad, is he a 3 or is he a 4? Sometimes has to play out of position.
Yeah, he does. He's just so versatile now. He's long, so he can play the 4, and he can block shots and defend. He can go to the offensive end and shoot 3-point shots.
Dance on the break. And fouled hard by McKillop.
Hard foul.
Dance took exception. Roy Williams, I didn't even see him come out that quick. He got out there in a hurry.
No need to get upset. It's a good hard foul. You don't want to hurt anybody. Pass ahead.
That was really hard.
That's a really hard foul. You don't want to hurt anybody. Somebody in a situation where they could hurt a knee or something like that over a play like that. You don't want to lose your cool either.
Roy Williams coming onto the court right there. Williams endearing himself to the Carolina throng who are here in attendance. Gave him a huge ovation as he walked back to the bench. That's not the first time that it's happened. Actually, he went over the student section on Saturday night against ODU holding up a shirt that said on it, North Carolina basketball, worth coming home for, written on it. He autographed it and subsequently threw it into the crowd. So he's working him pretty good, Brad.
Well,
not that he needs to.
No. When you look at that, I mean, let's be realistic. Phillips not going to be able to hurt Rashad King.
Okay.
So you take that, you go to the free throw line just like Rashad did, and knock him down. Move on.
61. 5:47 to go. Chance. Baseline drive.
There you go. Make him mad. He'll make you pay.
That's the best kind of payback.
Absolutely.
Chance with 13 on 4 of 10 from the field.
You got baseline.
There's McKillop with a 3, and he's pretty good shot.
Great play by Johnson. One baseline.
Don't forget, coming up next, the Buckeyes against the Aztecs. ESPN2 right here. Full advised.
one, Sean May's not a 7-footer that you can throw way over top to, and their defense is just too tight.
Let's take a look at our roll age game track. North Carolina shooting 54% from the field when you're running. They're obviously getting good looks. Davidson, meanwhile, the turnovers killing them, although they're shooting 42% from the floor. Coming in, Bob McKillop said he'd have to take good care of the ball.
Handle that pressure.
You know what they say, pressure makes diamonds and pressure busts pipes.
Pressure makes you throw the ball up the stands.
No pressure for Brendan Winters, now with 24. Most of those coming from three-point territory, yes.
What a give and go. Good opportunity. Williams down to Bolander, right back to him as he cut.
Well, tomorrow night ESPN with a huge college basketball matchup between two of the top 5 ranked teams in the nation. Bill Self, now the new head coach at Kansas, taking on Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans. And Allen Fieldhouse, all part of college basketball's B-Suite, presented by eBay on ESPN. For in-depth college basketball coverage, check out ESPN.com, keyword college basketball. ESPN and ESPN2 has over 300 college basketball games for you this season.
Gotta wear a man out. You watch basketball all winter. You wore out come summertime. You gotta relax.
Get that in your old HDTV and it's all good.
You can get it on. Wear some batteries out, and I'll tell you what we're
Winters with a nice show and go.
Good ball.
With the kick to Ivory, who missed from long range. Outside, it's Winters again. Out of bounds. Will stay with Davidson. Davidson out of the South Conference, Southern Conference. They're competing in the Maryland division. Last year they were co-champs of their division.
Great opportunity. Felton State double team on there. Let him in the corner.
Put back no good. Tipped up. Johnson couldn't find the handle. Scott comes away with it.
And I saw there, North Carolina was already leaking out, headed toward the offensive end before they captured the basketball.
Vance on the wing. Williams with the hoop, and let's go back to Reese Davis for an update.
All right, Mark, Ohio State and San Diego State down in Maui just getting started. Going to get a look at a couple of new Buckeyes. Tony Stockman and J.J. Sullinger. Transfers coming up in a few moments. Just as soon as you guys finish with North Carolina and Davidson, we'll get you down to Maui.
Fill the lane.
87 points and the meter still running.
Get out and run.
Well, Ivory says, look what I found. Got a room service layup. Ball came right to him. Williams, meanwhile, with a career high 28 points.
Wow, he is huge tonight.
What about Felton? Dishing it out. He has 11 assists.
Run and get those hands ready, Mark. Warm them up.
Well, transition going to be key for North Carolina all year.
Hey, look at him come out here. Look at those eyes. He's up the floor. Push, push. Big fella's running. 2 hands. Got a little bump and finish. Good basketball. Efficiency.
College basketball player, you'd love to play this style of basketball.
Yeah.
It's the type of style that will attract recruits back to Chapel Hill for Roy Williams.
Everyone's equal opportunity offense. All you got to do is run.
Look at Steve Robinson, one of his assistants from Kansas, longtime friends. Robinson joined by Joe Holliday and Jared Haas, former player at Kansas.
He's got a heck of a staff over there. Steve Robinson, Coach Holliday, those guys are just brilliant head coaches in the waiting. They want to do it.
Of course, Phil Ford is an unofficial member of that coaching staff. Melvin Scott hits the long-range jumper with 2:59 to go. Interesting conversation prior to the game as Bolander makes the steal. Loose ball. Tar Heels half a step quicker than Davidson. And we have a timeout on the floor. Felton got enough to feed the needy. 11 assists. We'll be back after this.
Reese Davis with you in the studio. As soon as we're finished with North Carolina Davidson, we'll take you down to Ohio State, San Diego State. J.J. Sullinger's off to a hot start for the Buckeyes. Drained the three there. They're up by 2.
All right, that one coming up next. And right now, right here, it is Roy Williams' world. And everyone else just a squirrel trying to get a nut right now.
Exactly right. They're taking it to him pretty good. Davidson's fought hard. North Carolina, I'm just really impressed with their pressure. A lot of mistakes, though, in their game. They're out there defensively. Like the effort.
The backdoor cut by Booker.
Oh, get his man on that. Good job by Bowling.
Rick Durant on him in a hurry. Price in the ball game. Terry, the freshman, missed the baseline jump shot.
Good opportunity for Terry. Nice shot. Stepped in. Picked up some slack. Quite didn't make use on it.
Inside to Johnson.
Oh, there's that hook. Oh, yeah.
That thing is lethal.
Good work.
He's got 24 in the game. Inside, Sanders can't find the handle. He got ripped. Davidson gave it right back. Talk about the field goal percentage at the top of the show. North Carolina under the respective coaches. Look what it is today, 56. Not too bad, 62 in the opener against ODU.
Hard in the basket. Got C.J. Hooker in the ball game. Got a lot of the young kids. Jonathan Miller.
Roy Williams just glad that we're playing games now. It's a busy, tumultuous off-season for him.
Playing with the ball.
Busy moving his home from Lawrence to Chapel Hill in the off-season.
That's got to be really tough. No, I mean, everyone just thinks that you just look up and there's Coach Williams and everything's great. He had to move his family and do all that stuff.
Time moving, recruiting, assisting Larry Brown in New York and Puerto Rico as part of USA Basketball's qualification team. And don't forget, coming up next, Ohio State against San Diego State. 1:32 to go right here. Who do you like in the ACC this year? I guess you got to look at Duke.
Duke's the best team in the league.
Wake?
I don't know if I put North Carolina ahead of Wake Forest right now. I think Wake Forest is a very good team. Dan Luce, Big Eric Williams inside, Chris Paul, Teron Downey, who came back from the appendectomy surgery, scored 20 points in their opening win, and Justin Gray, who's a tremendous player. I don't think it's a strong back. Yes, sir. So I would say probably Wake Forest. Come to North Carolina, I think with Gary Williams in Maryland, they've got not a very big basketball team, but they're going to compete. It's going to be interesting.
Well, we saw Georgia Tech last week, and the prognosticators picked them 7th in the conference. I'm going to go with them as my sleeper this year.
Oh, without question.
Among the top 3.
They're right there in that 3-4 spot without question. Georgia Tech, if they get good, ample help from the bench, and Shincher can play some very important minutes, block some shots. I like what they have. Muhammad comes in, very explosive player.
Finishes backcourt, too. With
absolutely.
B.J. Elder,
Marvin Lewis. So they've got a lot of potential. They've got a super basketball coach down there in Paul Hewitt.
Meanwhile, North Carolina with 90 points to 64 for Davidson. It's the first time since 2001 North Carolina has scored 90 points in back-to-back games. Wow. And Roy Williams' teams of Kansas last year were 3rd in the nation. The year before that led the nation in scoring.
Well, they're going to score. I mean, it's obvious. The question is, are they going to defend? Are you going to do it night in and night out? Are you going to be committed to defending people, or are you just going to be committed to running and shooting and scoring?
Got to keep the big fella healthy, too. Under a minute to go. 90 to 65. Tar Heels with the lead. Aho out of Finland. The three-pointer.
Aho comes in, and he's looking at that basket. I like that.
What are you supposed to do?
I'm telling you, you don't get any scholarships. I want the kids listen to me. Score 30 a game. You don't get any scholarships playing defense. You got to shoot the ball. Let it fly. Learn to play defense when you get there. Yeah, nice move. Terry got a nice drop step. Stand. Went too far under the basket.
Aho again, this time missing. transition.
Yeah, McLeod makes a nice move to the basket. Great pass.
The USA Today, the ESPN Top 25 poll coming out today. UConn going to be in the Final Four in the preseason NIT coming up Wednesday.
I like that top four. I'd probably slide Missouri in there. I like Missouri. Missouri's a heck of a basketball team. I think they're going to really pounce on some people.
Don't forget, coming up next, Ohio State takes on San Diego State. Sean McDonough, Bill Rafter, and Jay Billis on the sandy shores of Maui calling that one. 15 seconds to go. Out of bounds. It'll be Davidson ball. Davidson going to fall to 0-2 on the season. Bob McKillop, though, will draw on his 15 years of experience as head coach at Davidson. Gather his troops. Regroup once again. Price with the rebound off the miss. Just off the mark. Well, the final score 91-68. North Carolina improving to 2-0 on the season behind a dominant performance from Jawad Williams with a career-high 28 points. This is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Right now, let's join Sean McDonough